What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans, China basketball national team fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. We're doing a live play-by-play reaction, scoreboard, game clock, chat, whatever you want to call it, for tonight's Summer League game. I am excited. Stefan Castle is playing tonight. Sissoko's back in the lineup. Both teams haven't won yet. Both teams, I believe, have gotten blown out quite a bit. So somebody's getting a win tonight. Really, the Spurs. So thank you all stopping in. If you haven't done so, if you're a regular, hit the thumbs up. If you're not a regular, huge Spurs fan, that should be obvious. If it's not, well, it should be pretty darn obvious. Would love to have you join our community. We have an awesome Spurs community, so the subscribe button's over there somewhere. And let's have a good game tonight. And this game looks like it's going to start on time. The 10 o'clock game the other night didn't start till 10:17, which killed me. And it's a sellout crowd of, well, nope, there's about 8 people behind Deuce Mason and Mark Jones, the announcers for tonight's game. And good evening, Camacho, Gabriel, Diago. It's been rough. Can you guys tell me who we got on team that is good? Castle looked good in game 1. That's it. Against the Kings on Sunday, we scored 59 points and shot 22% from the floor. It's been some really ugly b-ball by the Spurs Summer League. Penalty, good evening to you. Gabriel B-Bear. Yes, Selena's with me tonight. Miss TSR at home working out right now. Definitely working out. Caesar, good evening to you. Yusuf, by the way. Oh my gosh. All right, buddy, get up there. Haven't seen the Chris Paul interview yet. I will try to watch that tomorrow. Did not get a chance. Life happens. But I do want to see his press conference, what he had to say about joining the Spurs. Gardner, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, okay. Lewis, good evening to you. The Biscuit Buddy. That's embarrassing seeing the seats. Oh, gosh, it is so empty. I'm not going to know anybody on the Chinese team. China team, I don't want to be impolite. China. I'm not going to know the players there. I had to look up who scored the most points in the previous game, and I already forgot the dude's name. He's on the thumbnail. I want to see Castle play well. I want to see City bounce back. I'd like to see Ingram maybe find a groove tonight. Of course, we got the Bouye. I mean, how can you not be excited about the Bouye? And then the rest of these guys. Ward's been awful. Milner's been awful. Nelson's been awful. I don't think Riley Minix is going to be back in the lineup yet. He got hurt the opening night, played like a minute and 15 seconds. I don't know what's up with him. Summer League hasn't been Spurs basketball. That's all I got to say. It is so empty there. This is bad. Oh my goodness. I'm going to spin my camera on for a second. I usually don't do this, but look, there's nobody there. There's nobody there. There's literally nobody there. Starting lineup for China: Hansen Yang, Zhenlong Zhu, Shuapeng Cheng, Sanning Lao, Rung Wang Du. I'm sorry. Jamari Bouye, Stefan Castle, City Sissoko, Harrison Ingram, Nathan Mensah for our San Antonio Spurs. So I think the guy put on the thumbnail isn't even playing tonight. Of course he's not. Or maybe he is. I don't know. Players are on the court, and away we go. Player on the thumbnail is 7'1", so if he's playing tonight, he's going to have a huge size advantage over our center, Mensah. That was a quick bucket, but was that the Bouye? Spurs won the tip, and then just the tip down the other end, and I think the Bouye is the one that the Bouye scored that. All right. Homer, what's going on? Caesar, thank you for stopping in, Marauders. If China destroys the Spurs tonight, I'm pretty sure China in their last game got pretty blown out. Oh, there's the lineups. I'm a little rusty with these, but there we go. It's down just a little bit. All right. Nope, down and up a little bit. Come on, TSR. All right, that'll work. The Bouye with the ball. The Bouye is going to drive baseline. Kicks it out to Castle for 3. Back rim, no good. Spurs get the offensive board. Bouye back to Castle. 10 on the shot clock for the Spurs. Spurs down 3-2 to China. Castle kicks it out to Sissoko. He's going to launch a 3. Oh, my goodness. That was an air ball. First air ball of the night for the Spurs, and that wasn't even close. I'm guessing City Sissoko not work on his three-pointers too much in the offseason. And if he did, I don't know who he was working with. China ball. Bagman's got on the post. I don't know these players. I'm sorry. Got a drive and a little jump hook. Nice touch. Rolls off the rim, though. I'm going to put a little volume on so I can maybe hear the Chinese players' names. Sissoko's going to fly up the court, and he is going to get fouled. What are your thoughts on Ruben Denot? Supposed to be a high prospect next year. The Spurs don't know it. Chris, I only know some of the high prospects for next year. Cooper Flag, etc. I want to focus on these guys this season. And the news coming out today about the Spurs relinquishing the rights to Sandro Mamakhelishvili, Charles Bassey, and others. Chetty Osman, Raekwon Gray went to the Bulls in the trade with DeMar DeRozan. David Duke Jr. relinquished the rights to him. I was wondering why Duke and Gray haven't showed up in the summer league. That might be why Castle with the ball gets in the paint, chucks it out to Sissoko around the world. Ingram for three. Hey, Harrison Ingram gets a three. All right, well, he looked smooth on that shot. All right, our second round pick this year, pick number 48. Quick drive down the other end, that's a miss. City Sissoko with the rebound. Spurs up 5-3, 8 minutes to go in the first Q. Sissoko will bring it up, gets into the paint, gets pushed, and he's going to go to the line for two. Joshua, alrighty then. Not released. Homer, not released. The Spurs have relinquished their rights to sign them. This is going to give other teams an opportunity to sign said players. I can't see, from the video we did this morning, it appears the Spurs are interested in bringing Charles Bassey back. I'm not exactly sure why. I'm sorry. I like him, but he's a walking injury. 2 years in a row, injuries to his left knee that ended his season early, including an ACL tear. I think that was in January of this year, so is he going to be 100% for the season? I'd rather bring Mamakhelishvili back than Bassey at this point. Mamu played great with Wemby at the end of the season. I know some Spurs fans seeing the defensive liability. Who isn't on our team these days, minus Wemby and probably minus Castle when the season starts. Little jumper in the paint, and the big man for China can't get it. We have a fight for the board, and Sissoko will bring it down, and another foul. A lot of fouls in this game. You're right, and I was wrong. Sissoko lost. He did lose 20 pounds. All right. Are you in favor of trading Zach Collins? Yes. Chris, yes. I am very much in favor of trading Zach Collins, but who wants him? Not trying to be disrespectful. Coming off season-ending shoulder surgery in the last game of the year, was incredibly inconsistent for us off the bench and as a starter. He's getting $17.5 million over the next 2 years. Not $17.5 million total, $35 million total. Castle's going to take another three. Ooh, that was a little off. China ball, 6-3, and well, there's some sloppy b-ball out there here and there. 12 on the shot clock. Nice behind the back. Oh, that's a turnover for China. Never mind. Ingram bring it up the floor, gets into the paint, and he almost turns the ball over, gets the ball back, gets it over to Castle. Castle going to take it into the paint and throws it up off the glass, and he gets his first bucket. And China's going to call a timeout, 8-3 Spurs. Send Collins to Detroit. I mean, okay. Spleen says the only reason to get Bassey back is because Zach don't want to play the 5 because he sucks as a 5. He's not really much better as a 4, is he? Joshua, I mean, we knew that drafting him. Back in play, and a quick foul on the Spurs. Maybe there was not a timeout. Castle showed good form in his first game. His shot doesn't look broken. I'm not expecting him to be Steph Curry his rookie year. We've seen a lot of players develop three-point shots over their career. Tony Parker is one. Jacques Murray got better with his threes. Turnover by China. Ingram drives in the paint, throws it up off the glass. Another foul, and that shot's no good. He's going to the line for two. What's up, Bexo? Yeah, that Tax Brazilian Ghost. Yeah, this is an odd game to see on the schedule. I would pay someone to take Collins. Harrison Ingram, a player a lot of Spurs fans are hoping does something. I don't know. Misses its first free throw. Got a couple substitutions. Castle, did I do that after he scores? No, Michelob, no Miss TSR tonight. She's at home. She's working. Working out and then apparently working. 9-3. Spurs are up by 6. This is the biggest lead of the year I think we've had. Or biggest lead out of Summer League. I don't think we've really had any leads except for maybe very early in the game. That jumper at the free throw line is going to bounce around and bounce in. Spurs ball. The Bouye will bring it up for the Spurs. Bouye out to Castle. Castle's going to take off against the paint. And a little alley-oop. And Nathan Mensah with the bucket. The assist to Stephon Castle. Spurs up 11-5. And now a foul on Mensah. My Spectrum was not working. Glaze and Bake, welcome, and I'm glad your Spectrum is back up and going. Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes sound ready to win now and not take after hearing the... And not take? Chris, I think a word's missing there. But I get that they're ready to win now. Oh, did I do that? Urkel. Stephon Castle. Stefan Urkel. All right, I got you. And a nice move in the paint. A layup and one for... Turn around so I can see your name. Cheng SP? What? It must be this guy right here, C. Xiaopeng. But his jersey says Cheng SP. Actually, all the jerseys have that. I think it has their first name and then their last name abbreviated, or the other way around. I'm not really sure. I know a lot of cultures do things differently with their names, abbreviations. You know, names might be reversed to what we're used to. 11-8. I'd just like to see less whistles in this game. Of course, that could also be the sloppy play of both teams. Bouye with the ball. Bouye drops it off to Soko. Soko to Castle. Castle. Whoa! Castle flies in and throws it down with two hands. Boom! Justice. That's how we roll here. Castle showing the ability to finish in the paint, and another foul. Z in Chinese are pronounced sh. He did do that, and we got a timeout. Listen, I like Trey Jones. You are never going to see Trey Jones do that. He can dunk, but he's not going to go up two hands, get hit by the center for China, Hansen, and still finish. Miss TSR must be going nuts right now, and she's not here. I'm going to check my phone since we're in a commercial. I hope she saw that. That's my boy, Dunk Baby Dunk. The last names come first, so last name of the jersey, first name initials. Okay. Yes, Trey Jones did do one dunk the whole season. Wasn't it at the end of the season? In the last game or second to last game? So, yeah, I mean, there's what Castle brings. He's strong. He's athletic. He might not be a sniper, but he's a bulldozer right now. Those Pistons, okay. If we make the playoffs, Selena Gomez better. I think Yao is actually Yao Ming's last name. Is it? For pausing, I honestly did not know that. I always assumed Ming was his last name because I've always heard his name as Yao Ming. Wow, that would be something was the other way around. No, I'm easy. I'm just saying that Castle's going to bring a dimension to our offense that we don't have. If he can get it, get his 3-point shot to being reasonable, doesn't have to be perfect the first couple seasons. I mean, Wemby, as good as Wemby is, Wemby shot, 33% from beyond the arc last year? And he was a high-volume shooter taking over 5 a game. If Castle can be at least 33% this year and improve his percentage 2 to 3% each year and get around 38 to 40, hey, great. Boomed is right. That dunk was that's gonna be some highlight reels. Free throw for China. He's listed as M Yao. Is he? Okay. What do I know? Apparently nothing. Gang's all here by tonight. You can see Baby Coyote, who, well, now I've talked about him. Boop! Baby Coyote in the house. That free throw is going to bounce off the rim and go in. It's 13-10. He made them both. It's 13-10. We got Mikey in the house. Ninja Turtles are cool. He's going to give you a boop, too. Another foul. Boop. This is on the Spurs. Turnover? What did Castle just do? I was busy booping. What do you do? And, you know, wouldn't be a Spurs game without the guy running the scoreboard. Another, oh my God, another whistle. And it'll be Spurs ball. Alright, Headman Grogu in the house. Alright, let's get back to the game. Spurs ball. Castle out, 3-point land, 10 on the shot clock. Screen with Luka Samanich's number guy. And the pass to Luka Samanic guy, which is Yahun Masaliski. Probably messed that up. He's wearing 19. I'm just going to call him Luka Sandwich because that's who I know is 19. AB, good evening to you. Interesting, Biscuit Buddy. I did not know that. That long three is way no good. Sissoko flies in for the rebound. Spurs up 15-10, 4.5 minutes ago. Sissoko will kick it out. And I can't see who has that for the Spurs. Well, Seth Milner with the miss. Seth Milner with the miss is now becoming a slogan on this channel. That long three down the other end is off the back rim. No good. Fight for the board. Castle will bring it down. And smoke him if you got him. Sissoko now with the ball. 2 steps. Throws it up. Hits the side of the backboard. And City's not looking particularly sharp with a shot tonight. Had a scope on his knee a few weeks before the Summer League. I think he is still lingering from those, oh God, speaking of air balls. Spurs ball. Thank you, now. You know, I've been using the Thunder Dunk of Justice all last season, and I was like, I need to modify it and make it better. And just while I was in the shower, because, you know, you do your best thinking in the shower, I was like, Thunder, and I was just like, Thunder. And I was like, how can I not make that the Thunder Dunk of Justice? Number 36 for the Spurs sucks. Easy, that is Seth Milner. He was on our Summer League team last year and sucked. And speaking of sucking, Tyson Ward just checked in for the Spurs. He's been a nightmare to watch. Castle go rebound. He's a good rebounder. No, Biscuit Buddy, we'll never... I'm not even sure we've ever seen DeJounte do that, because I've seen a small conglomerate of Spurs fans saying Stephon Castle's DeJounte Murray 2.0. I think he's going to be better. Holy crap, did Seth Milner just hit a shot? Okay, well, Seth Milner just told us to... Suck it! True story. Spurs with an 8-point lead. This is their biggest lead of Summer League. This is their only lead of Summer League. Another foul. Suck it! Whoops, did not mean to do that. A drive and a foul. 2 more free throws coming up. City lost weight and his hustle vanished with it. He's not looked good in the Summer League. I'm assuming he's hurt. If he's not hurt, I'm rooting for him. He's also a second-round pick, and something that some people have been talking about on the channel lately, and they're kind of right. The Spurs are going to have Wemby as the centerpiece. There's going to be a few core pieces that are with the Spurs for a lengthy time or their whole career. Castle could be one of them. Maybe Vassell. Vassell's upcoming contract after his current one is what concerns me with his future with the Spurs. Anyway, I think we're going to have 2 or 3 players that are mainstays on this team for the next decade. And you're going to see some talent come in and talent go out. And there's going to be some guys that you don't want to have leave the team. But the Spurs are really preparing for this salary cap thing, as mentioned in a video, was that yesterday? And Wemby's going to be the future of the team, and we'll see who stays for the long haul after that. I mean, if they're winning championships, turnover Spurs. I don't think guys are going to want to stay. Pull up in the paint, and it's good and one. My goodness, there's a lot of fouls in this game. That's right with the double suck at July 26th. And yes, Castle with the Thunder Dunk of Justice. I don't think the Spurs are done dealing yet. I don't either. A lot of folks disagree with me when I say I think Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul will be traded before the All-Star break. It makes sense, though. Think of it from a business perspective. We need some vets, and we need some guys to help mentor our young players. Barnes, from what I've been reading, is a great character guy. Going to really help the team in the locker room. Chris Paul, I mean, you guys know who CP3 is. I don't have to say anything about him. It's going to really help, I think, unlock Lob City 2.0 of the Spurs. Castle takes the ball, flies in the paint, goes in. Layup is, rolls off the rim. Luka Samanic with the rebound. Gets it back to Castle. Castle with another layup. This one's good and one. Sorry, Masaleski, you're wearing Samanic's number. So, anyway, I think there's going to be teams making a playoff push, and they could use a shooter like Harrison Barnes, or a quality backup point guard, or maybe even a starter if there's an injury to their starter, and Chris Paul. And if we can get another pick swap or some kind of first-round pick in 2032, I get what the Spurs are doing. It seems weird, but you look at the model by the Oklahoma City. And granted, the Paul George trade was a big part of where they got all their assets, but they were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference last year and got a lottery pick, the 12th overall pick. I think that's the Spurs are looking at the Thunder and what the Thunder have done with vets and getting Al Horford, a great example. They got I think they're getting 2 first-round picks for him when it was all said and done. I think they're later picks, but still, I think the Spurs are looking at the Thunder's model. The Thunder have done a great job. Granted, nobody expected SGA to be as good as he was. But Wemby, I think, is going to be better than SGA, hopefully, when it's all said and done. So I think that's going to be the Spurs' blueprint, is just bring some vets in and then ship them on out until we're ready to win. When we're in win right now mode, then yes, they're going to keep the players the whole season. I could be totally wrong. Who knows? Castle, wait and see. Yeah, a spleen, but I like what I'm seeing. Now, granted, this is a summer league. He's not going against other the elite players in the NBA, but he's showing us stuff, and that's good because we have players that are showing us nothing or less than nothing. He's at least showing us, hey, he can get to wherever he wants to on the floor. He seems like he's been very good about that. The three-point shot hasn't come around. The form is fine, but it's just not going in. Castle's definitely, feeling like that. If CP3 gets traded, it's great for everyone. That would mean CP3 has proven his value, but if CP3 stays with the Spurs, it's also a W for the Spurs. Yeah, I think it's win-win either way. I know a lot of folks want us to be a lottery team next year. I think we'll be a play-in contender. The Western Conference is stacked. I see us finishing somewhere between 10 and 12th. Castle's free throw is good. I think we'll be fringe. Maybe we just missed the plan. We might be a late lottery team, and maybe there's some lady luck. But the people that are saying, the small Spurs group of Spurs fans that are saying tank, those days are over with Wemby. Look how the team finished last year. They finished pretty darn strong. My clock is not running. 21-15, 2:41 to go. Ball's going to go out of bounds. It'll stay with China. The Twig Gaming, let's have none of that. Just going to put that out there now. I know China is playing tonight. You might not agree with their... You might agree with things. Might not agree with things. Let's focus on basketball. That's what that's what the Spurs are here for. That's what China's here for. Let's just be respectful, I guess is all I'm saying. Just because they live there doesn't mean they all agree with everything. And that's all I'm going to say on it. And a miss, and Castle with the offensive board and putback. And Stefan Castle is looking good tonight, Spurs fans. 23-15. I think he's got, 8 or 9 points already? He's definitely leading the team in points. China ball, 2 minutes to go. 23-15. Pull up from the free throw line. Ding dong, no good. Castle is doing great. Phil, I had a little lower than that. You have him at 40-45. I have him at 35-40. So we're close. Quick pull-up three is a swish. Was that Tyson Ward for three? Tyson Ward's hitting a three ball. I don't think Wemby wants us to be a lottery. No, the team's going to win games just because of how good Wemby is. When he goes off and takes over in the end of the game, there's going to be a few wins there. Anyone here seen Juan Nunes highlights? I've seen some. Great passer. Not a great defender at this point in his career, and a horrible well, he's not a good 3-point shooter or free throw shooter, I believe. He's young. It's hard to envision him being our starting point guard when he's a second-round pick. I know some folks like Noodles will be our starter in a couple of years. Hey, if he is, that's great because that's a steal. That's a Manu Ginobili type situation where you get a player in the second round and now he's a starter. But we've got to temper expectations. Those Manu Ginobilis and those Nikola Jokic's don't show up often in the second round. 8th seed? Castle should tie his hair back to get out of his eyes. That's not a bad idea, Joshua. When we sent in the off-season Spurs, when did you see we did something? Oh yeah, I heard something about Wemby, or Brian. Oh, I thought you spelled Wemby wrong. Brian Windhurst sent in his podcast Spurs off-season. It was a semi-bluff from the front office. A way to say Wemby, you see we did something. I see what you're saying. Okay, my bad. I read it wrong. I did not know that Bipley about Harrison Barnes. Okay. Diego, I think Nunez is under contract to play overseas all year. Schools, this game is on ESPN Plus and NBA TV tonight. As it's labeled in the title, it's a live play-by-play in Scoreboard. Where I live, it's illegal to show the game, so I mean, I can show this game, the Triple H game. I can show this. Sucker! But unfortunately, I cannot show the actual game. Otherwise, I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. China Ball down by 11. Quick long three. Ooh, sniper. Who was that? Number 23. All right, well, that's the Chinese Michael Jordan. 23. There we go. Spurs ball. The Bouye with the ball. 10 on the shot clock. Bouye. Ooh, that's an ugly turnover. What the heck? Tyson Ward just left his feet and, threw the ball in off. Forfeited Tower of Castle. You're welcome. Damian Hernandez, my resident Chicago Bulls fan. How are you feeling? I'm guessing you're not liking that DeMar DeRozan trade. We have a drive and a block and a putback, and it's good. All right. This game's actually turning out to be, this is the best Summer League game I've watched so far. I didn't say much. No, Chris, we've had this channel for a little over 5 years, have put in countless hours to grow the channel. I don't want to take a chance of getting hit with a copyright strike. It's just not worth it. Nunes played like 4 minutes for Spain in the qualifiers, and he got 10. Did he get 10 points in 4 minutes, Jonathan? So no, 4 pause. I have not watched the press conferences yet. It's on the bucket list. Pull up three is no good. And it's going to go out of bounds and be Spurs ball. Exactly 24 seconds on the game clock, which means the shot clock will be turned off. Oh, it's the Spurs. Yeah, exactly, Chris. We have only been together as a community with the Spurs losing. This channel's 5 years old, 5 losing seasons. This team is finally starting to look like they're going to turn things around. They can't be bailing out. Ooh, that's a three-pointer for the Spurs. Long three down the other end, no good. Spurs up by 9. I think that was Nelson with a 3. Gosh, the guys have been missing left and right are coming out to play tonight. Okay. It's nice to see, some Spurs playing well. I know it's just Summer League, doesn't count, but the last game, Sunday night against the Kings, the Spurs scored 59. They're already halfway there in one quarter. 59 points Sunday. They're halfway there tonight. Oh, Deadpool and Wolverine, absolutely. That is a must. That's must-see TV. It's a movie, but you get the drift. That's the first Marvel movie I've been excited about since Spider-Man Multiverse, or whatever the Spider-Man movie was with... Well, I don't want to spoil anything. What's Spider-Man? How much game Spurs dominating? Yeah, yeah. Spurs would get off to a good first quarter start. Wemby would come out, and then they would go to the lead. We do need a big M easy. You can't count on Charles Bassey. If they don't bring Mamu back, that leaves Zach Collins. You're putting all your eggs in a basket, hoping that Wemby and Collins are healthy all year. No kidding, Camacho. 2002 to 2014. Dang, that's a long streak. If the Spurs win more than 40 games, Wemby will win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's a pretty good lock for Defensive Player of the Year if he plays like he did last season. MVP, we'll see. Travis Nelson, Riley, that is random, Joshua. Yes, Sirski, good evening to you. We got an injury-prone player and some stale hot Cheetos with an expired Pepsi. What? Coming up next, the Hornets versus the Kings at 10 p.m. I will not be up for that. Tomorrow it's the Heat versus the Lakers at 7 p.m. Is Bronny out for the rest of the Summer League? I heard he was hurt. I haven't been following it. Just curious. Is Bronny done, or is he back in action tomorrow? I haven't seen him play yet. I might tune in tomorrow. I don't have any plans. Do I have any plans? I don't have any plans. Be curious to see how Bronny's doing. China ball to start us off the second quarter. A sellout crowd of about 143 people watching. Oh, nice long three. Was that the center? Is that Hansen? Nice shooting, kid. I'm going to watch Madam Web at some point with my girlfriend. I think we're going to watch it to see how bad it is. I don't plan on enjoying it. Ingram pull-up J. Harrison Ingram with the pull-up J. All right, I see you from here. Yeah, Diago, I agree. Diago, I agree. 100%. And another bucket for China. I can't tell who that is. Sanning with the three-pointer. The Bouye with the ball. Out to old Jameer Nelson. Nelson's going to get fouled. Was the marbles really good? Oliver with Wemby would be the tallest Twin Towers in NBA history. 7'5" Wemby and 7'7" Canadians. 7'7"? I think I've heard his name on the channel. Bronny has swelling in the knee. Have you seen anyone on the end of a bench from Division II basketball team play in garbage time? You've seen Bronny play. Wow, is that bad? Fight in the Sacramento game. Aaron, my take on any of our players before we give up, I say 3 years. Blake Wesley, Malachi Branham going into year 3. If they don't show an improvement, might be. Whoa! Look at a hard foul. It'll stay Spurs ball. I guess the same could be said about Jeremy Sohan. If he doesn't start showing in year number 3, do we move on from him? I mean, we can't sit here and develop players for 4 or 5, 6 years. I mean, Lonnie Walker was good with the Nets last year. Is that year number 6? We just can't wait that long. Alleged. Spurs ball. 8 on the shot clock. Nelson will throw it out to the Bouye. Bouye for 3. Nope. Mensah with the rebound. And turns the ball over. Fast break for China. And the layup. Little jump layup. And we're going to have a timeout. Lau with the bucket. Polinka has swelling of the brain. Sohan's plate replacement right here. Right. Oh, who's Sohan's replacement? You? Quick shot down the other end is no good. I thought there was a timeout, but I guess not. I'm so confused. China ball down by 4. 13 on the shot clock for the Chinese team. He has the big man in the paint, and he's going to just lose the ball, and it's caught by Harrison Ingram. Ingram will bring it up for the Spurs. Ingram whips it over to the Bouye, back to Ingram. Over to Nelson, back to Ingram for 3. Ingram! Harrison Ingram looking confident tonight. Camacho, you're not the first person to say that. Olivier's 7'9". A lot of fans are ready to move on from Keldon Johnson. a lot of fans. I'm not one of them, but that's more of a homer on my end. I'll admit it because I'm a fan. He's on a good contract. He's young. Appears to be good in the for the locker room. Bouye with the jumper, no good. Foul, going to line for 2. It'll be funny if LeBron will turn into Bronny's backup. What is up with Bron anyway, by the way? You guys know I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan, but I was seeing he was going to take a pay cut to bring somebody in so they can try to, win. And then he signed, I believe, the biggest per year contract in the NBA, $52 million a year, 2 years, $104 million or something. So they're going to bring in nobody in. That roster they have right now is not winning a championship in the West. Castle did start the game. TG1, he's on the bench right now. He looked good. He had a huge dunk in the paint with contact, finished strong, 2-hand jammer. I think CP3 can make Keldon work in the starting lineup. And Keldon does have that roofing commercial. $36-29, 7:26 to go. Spurs up by 7. Quarter number 2. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do so. I'm not expecting too big of a crowd tonight. But if we can get to at least 100 thumbs up, we would greatly appreciate it. You know it. It looks like this.
Go, Spurs, go! Go, Spurs, go!
China's keeping it close. Quick layup makes it 36-31. Ingram with the ball again. We'll crossover. I bet he's going to take another 3. Down the shot clock. Quick pull-up 3 is no good. Spurs get the offensive rebound. Ingram will take another 3 close. No good. The follow-up is no good by Ward. 3 missed shots by the Spurs on that possession. China ball down by 30. Down 36-31. Down by 5. Quick 3-pointer. Brick. No good. Harrison Ingram with the rebound. He'll sprint up the court. Gets it to Bouye. Bouye flies in the paint. And Bouye with the layup. Booyah! Jorge, good evening to you. No, Taylor, Tim Duncan's still not walking through that door. 38-31. Hansen with the ball for China. He's been playing fairly well. Little jump hook. Short, though. Of course, as soon as I give him a compliment, he misses the shot. Bouye flies up the court again. Spins around in the paint. And the Bouye! Time out, China. The Booyah! Well, Alex, thank you for stopping in. Yeah, 4 pods. So that's the big difference when you look at, the guys that are considered some of the greatest of all time. When you look at Tom Brady, he took a pay cut to try to win another ring. Just cared about winning. He's got enough money. He could have said no on the pay cut. Took a pay cut. LeBron James is a billionaire. Could have taken a pay cut to win another ring. No, money's more important. And that's the biggest criticism I've always had of James. Is I don't think he has that GOAT mentality. He says he's a GOAT, but he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that drive that you saw in a Jordan or Kobe or Brady. And 4-6 in the NBA Finals isn't stellar either. But who cares? He's a billionaire, so he's obviously doing something right. Well, thank you. You appreciate it. Hector, good evening to you. Bouye plays just like his name. You know what, Diego, I just love his name. He's only like 24. Everybody thinks he's like 40 years old. He's not 40 years old, but he does look older than he is. But Bouye is just... It's a fun name, and that was clean. That was a beautiful spin move to get that layup. Ain't gonna lie, the free agent moves count this season. David Robinson took a pay cut. There you go. I forgot about that. Was it confirmed that Bouye is 40 years old? No, Aaron, he is 44. Thank you very much. Ron, the type of guy that takes all the money, complains midseason that he has no help. There you go. That's going to happen. Lakers are not winning a championship no matter what they did. It's kind of like Kobe at the end. Yeah, I think so. Hard left turn. At this point, they should probably look into trading Anthony Davis and get as many assets as they can to become start a rebuild. Because Because if they just keep holding on to LeBron and AD, sure, they'll be a playoff team, play-in team, playoff team. But I think I heard on one of the ESPN shows they've had one high seed in the last decade, the Lakers. Wemby's Castle, good evening to you. He says, Stephon Castle makes me so happy. Honestly, everyone told me Castle isn't a point guard. Damn, he was a 5-star point guard out of high school for a reason. Yeah, he's showing us some stuff. He is back in the game right now, so he'll probably close out the first half. Ward for 3. Off the rim, no good. Timmy took a pay cut. There you go. Jose, Castle's looking good tonight. Looking good. That 3-pointer is no good. An in-and-out burger, Spurs ball. Castle will bring it up for San Antonio. About 5:20 to go in the first half. Castle's going to get into the paint. And lost the ball and turned it over. Of course, as soon as I give him a compliment. Yeah, I miss Manu Ginobili. Joshua, good evening. Okay, Wemby's Castle. Okay. I was like, you have a wrench, but I couldn't figure out which. Okay. Well, thank you for being here, everybody, tonight. Hopefully you're having a good Tuesday. Hopefully you're having a great week. We're going to have a quick 3 down the other end, and that 3 ball's no good. Hanson with the oh, no, that's not Hanson. That's Boja with the rebound. Another miss by the Chinese team. Spurs ball. Sissoko will bring it up. And gets immediately grabbed and fouled. Joshua Castle looks good. Not perfect. He's not perfect. He's going to make a few mistakes here and there. There's going to be turnovers. There's going to be missed threes. But overall, very promising. Dylan, well, initially, Dillia was rated higher than Castle. So you're going to want the best player available at that position, right? But his stock ended up drafting a ton after the combine when we found out he was like 6'1", 160 pounds with a 6'3" reach. Castle out to Sissoko for 3. Made it. 12-point lead, biggest lead of the game for the Spurs. Aaron, I don't think either is happening, to be honest with you. Alvin, it sounds awful to say, but I'm going to be honest. I don't want Charles Bassey coming back. Not because I don't like him. I love the way he blocks shots. He absolutely is a wrecking ball. When he blocks a shot, it's just not a little boop. It's getting thrown viciously somewhere. 2 injuries to his left knee. Back-to-back season-ending injuries. A fractured patella and a torn ACL. I have no faith his body's going to hold up. I really don't. Why would we? And I think he had the fractured patella in his left knee in college, or his right knee. I'm pretty sure he had a knee injury in college. He's a big dude, but his body clearly is not handling the abuse your body takes when you're an athlete. I don't know if anybody's hit a game winner yet, Alex. I have no idea. Yeah, 4 pause. I mean, the Bronny James pick. There's no way in hay that they pick Bronny James if LeBron's not there. So the Lakers are... they don't care about winning another title. Timeout after the bucket, 43-33. You know what? It's only good for us if the Lakers collapse and suck over the next decade. Markkanen, so the thing with Markkanen is the Jazz are going to want a ton for him. An absolute ton. I'm thinking 5 first-round picks. Is he worth that? Does Markkanen make us a contender instantly? I think the Jazz are going to want too much. Ingram 2 of 3 from the arc. They couldn't bring him back as a third big, but he got injured as a third big. Uninjured, he's better than college, though. Well, contract-wise, yes, and defense-wise, yes, definitely. James initially told the Lakers that he would take a larger pay cut if it meant landing one of the premier free agents like Klay Thompson or DeMar DeRozan. Lakers have had the most... There's a video. Actually, I did a reaction to it about the discrepancy between the all the teams in the NBA and the Lakers free throws over the last 2 years. It's extremely lopsided. Wait, is Duke Jr. with the Summer League team, Big C? Because I saw the Spurs relinquish the rights to his contract, and I haven't seen him play tonight. We would get Markin and have no picks to finish the rebuild. There you go. Felix, you nailed it. We'd get Lowry and have no picks left to finish the rebuild. The Jazz would really, yeah, they would fleece us probably. Zach Collins, Kelvin Grab, probably young piece, and Blake or Malachi and 2 firsts for Lowry is the most I'm offering. I mean, Collins and Johnson would be a salary match. Lowry's making $18 million this year. Both Zach and Kelvin are making around the same thing. I was so excited about Blake and Malachi going into year 2. Blake's defense stayed solid. He was a little better offensively, but I don't know. Neither guy's shown me enough to make me believe that they are here for long term. I hope that's different in year 3. Maybe we'll see something in the preseason. Castle with the ball gets into the paint. Nice pass to Mensah. Mensah is going to lose the ball out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Spurs. 6 on the shot clock. GL go Spurs. You know, let's get a go Spurs go up. Or 2 go Spurs goes. Wemby's Castle with the $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Wemby and Castle, back-to-back Rookie of the Year. Calling it now. Good evening, Cowboy X Factor. Spurs trying to get their first win in the Summer League. They are all busts. I saw in the chat. They could be. Sissoko with a very poor jumper. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Thank you for the super chat, Wemby's Castle. No, I'm easy. We cannot guarantee that. You also cannot guarantee that Lauri Markkanen is going to be injury-free in any given year. Or if he's going to work well with the team. We don't know. It's a gamble with hoping the lottery picks hit. It's also a gamble bringing an established player in and hoping he gels with your roster. Now, Rudy Gobert and Wemby are killing it in France right now with the Olympic team. So if Gobert was 5 years younger, that'd be something. Wow, Castle muscles his way into the paint and gets it in off the glass. This dude's strong. He's like farmer strong. He's not huge, but he's just, he's one of those guys that doesn't look jacked, but just might be really strong. Baoju with the little jump hook in the paint for the Chinese team. 10-point game, 45-35. Castle, quick pull-up 3. That's short. I think he's missed all his 3s tonight. I think once he's over 3. But he's doing some work in the paint. That quick pull jumper is no good. China with the rebound. And a quick jumper is no good. Put back is good. The bigs for China are just killing us on the offensive glass, but they're also bigs. Like they have a 7-footer on their team. I don't know if he's one of the guys on the floor right now. Our tallest player is 6'9". Sissoko for 3, no good. We have 15 first-round picks until 2031. 5 first-round picks for Lauri Markkanen as a bargain. Imagine Paul, Castle, Vassell, Lowry, Wemby. Where's Sohan going? Thank you, Chris. That is Selena Gomez. 45-37, 12 on the shot clock for the China team. Pull up 3. Timeout Spurs. I'm easy. There's a big difference between signing an aging vet that you don't plan on being here long term as opposed to trading away a boatload of picks for a player that you plan on being here long term. Markkanen has an extensive injury history. That worries me. Chris Paul, I expect him to be injured this year. I also don't expect him to be with the team by the end of the year. Sohan was a 6-man in Baylor. 6-man here. About the Castle's looking good. There's no reason. No, we should not hold on to all the picks, Matthew. I would agree there. We can't draft everybody. We can't keep everybody. There's only so much room on your roster. And there's only so much room on your roster. Let's see. Let me adjust that. And okay. Like Castle's posture? Yes, me too. I think Wemby plays until he's 37, 38. I don't think he's going to play that long. I think 33 to 35 is probably more realistic with his body type, which would still be, 13 to 15 years is a long career for somebody that's like 7'4", 7'5". Lowry is on the last year of his contract, so there's also, yes, there is the risk he does not re-sign with the Spurs. I mean, if anybody's trading for Lauri Markkanen, it's got to be a sign and trade. The Jazz would need to extend him before trading for him. You cannot give up a plethora of picks for a player and then have him immediately leave the team. That sets your franchise back. Hi, I'm Darius. Good evening. Castle playing tonight and playing well. Not hitting his threes, but otherwise he's looking great. Castle 4 of 8, so he's 4 for 5 from three-point land. 4 assists, 1 turnover, plus 14. Mensah on three-point land, drops it off to Castle, 7 on the shot clock. Castle whips it over to the Bouye. Bouye's going to drive, and Bouye the ball right over to China. China ball. And it's only a 5-point game. The Spurs were up by as much as 12, but China's just hanging around. Spurs can't put them away. We're going to have a drive, and... oh, missed the dunk! The big man missed it for China! That was partially blocked. Down the other end. Harrison Ingram just loses it out of bounds on the break. Back to China. That alien Castle? Oh, he's over 2 from 3? I thought he took 3 threes. Is it only 2? So RR210TX, I'm watching on ESPN Plus. The game is being televised on ESPN Plus and NBA TV. It's also on ESPN 3, which might be free to you. ESPN is free for me for a lot of games. Castle drives in the paint, just misses the shot off the glass, gets the miss back, misses again, and gets the follow-up. So Castle working the offensive boards. Got 2 offensive rebounds there, I think. You might be saying, wait, TSR, if it's on ESPN 3 and it's free, why'd you get ESPN Plus? Well, some of the games are on ESPN Plus, and, well, I want to call all the games. And I want to see the last season of The Ultimate Fighter with Conor McGregor. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line's good. 47-44, Spurs can hold for the last. 9 seconds to go. Castle will bring it up forward San Antonio. And he's going to immediately get fouled. All of the offseason will go to an F. Zach Collins is still in the Spurs beginning of the season. Zach is going to be there. Who's going to want him? He's coming off a shoulder surgery. Yes, Ingram definitely going to the G League. And you're welcome, RR. Matthew, a lot of those Olympic games are going to be on while I'm working. I can't. I have a... this is not my full-time job. I have a real job. Yeah, I can't. Castle's going to take a long 3. That's an air ball. May have been partially blocked. I don't like that shot. There was a few seconds on the clock. That was rushed. Did not need to do that there. And announcers are saying that China finished the quarter strong. It's 47-44. We got a game tonight. Castle has hair like the Predator. I can't believe people trying to downgrade Markkanen and dude is legit in 27. You know, I mean, they're entitled to their opinion, aren't they? You want him. I respect that. Some people don't. Respect that too. Right? It works both ways. I say Michael Jordan's the GOAT. You say LeBron James is. Neither one's a fact. I just think the Spurs would have to give up. Listen, I've said this about any player. Let's forget Lauri Markkanen for a second. Anybody that comes to the silver and black, I'm rooting for him. I'll be rooting for Chris Paul this year. I'll be rooting for Harrison Barnes this year. If LeBron, please go help me, sweet baby Jesus. If he came to the Spurs and was wearing a Spurs uniform, I would be rooting for him. If Lauri Markkanen comes here and we trade a boat for him, boatload, it is what it is, I'll root for him. I don't see the Spurs organization the way we've operated since I've been a fan, giving up a ton of draft picks for Markkanen. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong. Show me a trade where we gave up a whole bunch of draft picks for somebody, because I can't think of one. I'll give the Atlanta first-round pick, San Antonio first-round pick, Charlotte first-round pick, Chicago first-round pick, all 2025. Just take Zach. Okay, I thought you were actually proposing a trade there. Just get rid of Zach Collins. Castle's now 6 of 14. 2 of those were offensive putbacks. That last 3-point shot was a little not needed. Well, congratulations, Camacho. I don't think Markkanen's going anywhere. I don't. Let's, though, focus on something a little different right now, known as the halftime stats. Nice to see the Spurs with a lead. All right, NBA Summer League. Box score. All right, we'll start off with Chinese team first. China had a good second quarter. Spurs were up 29-20 in the first quarter. China outscored us 24-18 in the second. For China, Hansen with 2 points, over 4 from the field. Ouch. Ranwang with 3, Zhu with 5, Shu Peng with 7, and Senning with 13. Nice. Off the bench, Bao Zhao with 6, Mingxing with 0. I'm sure I'm pronouncing these wrong. Hongguang with 0, Cheyenne with 2, Zing with 6. For our San Antonio Spurs, going with a 10-man rotation tonight. Ingram looking much better than the last 2 games with 9 points, including 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Mensah with 2, Sissoko with 4. Sissoko having a rough night shooting again, 1 of 5 from the field. Castle a little rough tonight from the field, 6 of 14. He does have 5 boards and 4 assists and only 1 turnover. Nabuye with 8 points, shooting 3 of 5 from the field. Off the bench, a whole lot of threes there. Milner, Nelson, and Ward all with 3. Masalaski with 2, and Adalovich with 0. Spurs shooting 44% from the field tonight. That's double what they shot Sunday night against the Kings, where they shot 22%. So trending in the right direction. Okay. Let's get back to the chat. We'll chat with chat. Bertans was released. I don't think Spurs are going to bring him back. Castle is close on, he is almost on pace on getting a triple-double. You're right, Guyan. I didn't even notice that. Do you think the Spurs will make one more trade before the deadline? Yes. Omar says Cooper Flag will hopefully be a Spur. Listen, that would be optimal. I was talking to my manager today, and I haven't seen what Flag has been doing. I guess he's with the Olympic team or some. Is he like an under-18 Olympic team? Is he 17? I don't know. Wherever he is, apparently he's been playing phenomenal, and I'm just thinking that's the last piece in the starting lineup. Wemby, Flag, Sohan, Vassell, Castle. Boom. That's going to take an incredible amount of luck. That means the Spurs or the Hawks have to be a lottery team, preferably both, and one of those ping pong balls got to come up with the Spurs name on it. The odds are very much stacked against us because the Spurs got the number 1 pick overall 2 years ago, and Atlanta was the number 1 pick this year. Last year, the Spurs. So, you never know. The scrimmage versus... They're called the USA Avengers? Oh, gosh, I thought I saw that somewhere. Trust me on this, bro. Sissoko was a bust. Now, Pedro, I'm going to challenge you on that. Not that he's not playing well. I can see that, too. But are you a bust if you're a late second-round pick? It was a second-round pick. I had high hopes for him. If he doesn't make it, maybe not late, somewhere in the 40s, I think. It was a second-round pick. I don't think you can call somebody a second-round pick that doesn't make it in the NBA a bust. They're not expected to make it. Now, if Castle doesn't play well and he's out of the NBA in 3 years, then that's a bust. If Wemmy's out of the NBA in 3 years, that's a bust. Neither one of those are happening. Yes, Brian Wright needs to start hitting on his draft picks. I will give him credit for what he's done with the rebuild and getting the draft capital, moving contracts, etc. Where I don't think he's done a particularly great job is drafting. You might say, whoa, TSR. He drafted Wemby. Really? Who here in this chat last year would not have drafted Victor Wembanyama number 1 overall? It should be everybody drafting Wemby. Aside from that, I mean, this year's picks, I like the Stefan Castle pick. I don't like what he did in the second round. No disrespect to Nunez. We need shooting. Furphy was there. We need Furphy to mount out of there. Ingram, hoping for the best, but tempering expectations. This year's draft was a good one in the first round. Focus on the first round because the second round's a crapshoot. Last year, Wemby was a no-brainer. Before that, hate to bring it up, Joshua Primo. That was an absolutely horrible pick. And not because he pulled his pee-pee out. Not because he was swinging his primos. We watched Joshua Primo play, right? Except for a few highlights. He sucked. Sorry. Maybe he would have developed into something good. I know he was really young. But what we saw him in year one and briefly in year two, he sucked. And guess what? The Clippers had him in the G League, brought him up, barely played, released him because they looked at him and said, he sucks! Samanic a bust? He was a 19th overall pick. No, when you get to bust talk, it's got to be somebody that's usually, my opinion, I could be wrong, a top pick. Somebody that was picked with a high pick, like a top 3 pick, and this was a guy that's going to lead the franchise, and then ends up doing nothing. The first person that came to mind, I don't know why, Jamarcus Russell in the NFL, picked by the Raiders first overall. All he did in the NFL was get overweight and released. Seriously, he just put on a ton of weight and then was out. You have your injury bust, like Greg Oden with the Portland Trailblazers. Came in the league, I'm going way back, came into the league, high expectations, his knees kept blowing out, and he became an injury bust. I don't know what I did, Joshua, but you're welcome. Well, MEZ, let's say this. If Sissoko is still affected by, you're talking about the scope on his knee. The idiots are the Spurs for plaguing him. If he is not 100% and is having problems, he should not be out there. Call it like I see it. I love our Spurs, but if the kid's having problems with his knee, don't play him. Fire tonight. Oh, yeah. Well, not even that, V. Frosty. I would say most second rounders don't even make the NBA or their G Leaguers. Yes, but exactly. 4 paws with high expectations for first round picks. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, clearly not busts. But if both of them were out of the NBA within 3 years, then yes, they would have been busts because the expectations were very high out of both. I mean, David Robinson probably kept the Spurs in San Antonio. James Wiseman a bust, yes. Greg Oden is a sad story. You know what else is a sad story? Segue. Me and Miss TSR watched The Iron Claw last night, which is a movie about the Von Erich family. That was depressing. If you watch wrestling, I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you follow wrestling, you know who the Von Erichs are, and you know that family went through some ish. And wow, I forgot some things that happened. Didn't realize how quickly some things happened when something good would happen, and then other things would happen. It was rough. Recommended. It's on Max. Anyway, back to the game. China will start off with the ball, only down by 3. Best bang for your buck, Manu or Jokic? How you going to do me like that? Shot clock violation. First, we have Manu Ginobili, one of the greatest Spurs of all time. And a steal in the second round. 6th man of the year. But you're asking me against Nikola Jokic, who is a multi-time MVP as a starter. And an NBA champion. And an NBA Finals MVP, is he not? I'm not going to say anything else. That's a miss. It's going to be China ball. Joshua, I'm not giving him a pass. I like some of his picks. I don't like some of them. I call it like I see it. You know, I like Kelvin. I do. You guys know I'm a Kelvin fan. I have 2 of his jerseys. I wouldn't be shocked if he was traded. I don't want him to be because I'm a fan. You know, my Spurs heart wants to keep him here, but my Spurs mind says there's a chance that he won't be here before this season or gone after next season. What's something you'd love to see Stefan Castle develop more of? That's a good question, other than a 3-point shot. Does he have much of a mid-range game? I don't think maybe a mid-range game. If he can become a three-level scorer, we know he can finish at the rim. If he can become a three-level scorer and be the defender, essentially, I'm describing Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi was an elite defender, as we know, and when Kawhi came to the Spurs, as he developed in his time with us, he became a three-level scorer. Got that mid-range game. He shoot the three, could finish at the rim. That's what I'd like to see out of Castle. Be able to score anywhere on the floor and be a first or all-second team NBA defense. Paired with Wemby, we'd be legit. Speaking of Castle, he has the ball right now. Takes off, gets into the paint, and the ball's going to be deflected out of bounds. He's just trying to make a pass. Going to stay up the Spurs. Hard left turn, I think Kelman was drafted 29th, and we have a lot of guys that were drafted 29th. I want to say DeJounte Murray and Derek White were drafted 29th. Or maybe Lonnie Walker was. There's a few guys that were at the 29th pick. Ment's a turnaround jumper. Why is he taking jump shots? No good. He did, Joshua. He did. I can't take that away from Ginobili. Yes, he does be frosty. He can really position himself well. Tony was 29th too. Okay. Turnover China. Spurs ball. Castle's going to get the ball up the floor. Gets it to Mensah. Mensah's going to get fouled on the fast break. Was Tony 28? Or is he 29? I don't remember. I know it was late. DeJounte Murray was a steal for sure. Derek White too, but I understand why he was drafted so late. Yeah. No, 1 point lead's not good. Pedro, our community, I find the biggest issues with Keldon Johnson are he's not a good defender. So poor of a defender he got. Sam Bowie was a bust, by the way. I just saw that, Omar. Got pulled from a game after like 4 minutes of play. He just ran into a screener and then ran into the three-point shooter. It was an ugly play. Not a great defender. Wow, did he just miss both free throws? Okay, no. Not a great defender, and he's been accused, sometimes rightfully so, of hero ball, where he just gets tunnel vision, puts his head down, drives to the basket, and he's taking a shot no matter how many players are in there. China ball, and we're going to have a foul on the Spurs as their center gets fouled on the jumper, Bao Zhu. And he can tie the game or give China the lead. Oh, that's right. Ginobili was second. Yeah, Ginobili second round. Omar, too early to tell if Sohan's a bust. 9th overall pick. If he's off the team after next season, then yes, he's a bust. I don't want to call him a bust yet. He seems to have a good work ethic. I mean, the guy's taking one-handed free throws, and he doesn't give a flippity flop when people first free throw's no good. Doesn't care that people might be laughing about the one-handed free throws. He has shown some offensive flashes and defensive flashes, but he's been inconsistent like most of our young guys. Kellen's inconsistent. Hard left turn, his rookie season was such an anomaly. Where he shot like 59% from the field, 51% from beyond the arc. It was very limited quantity, but his efficiency was off the roof his rookie season. And now an offensive foul on Castle? Or travel? Or okay, turnover Spurs. I hope Sohan does prove people wrong. Too soon to call him a bust, but I think Spurs could have found better players. I think he was picked number 9th of Spleen 2 years ago. Jalen Williams was available. I mean, listen. Everything happens for a reason. Turnover by China. Fast break by Bouye. Terrible layup, but he's going to get fouled. We can all sit here and say, what if the Spurs drafted Tyrese Halliburton over Devin Vassell? What if the Spurs drafted Kenan Houston? That's drafted out for Primo. Your center. Oh my gosh, his name's escaping me. He's got a weird name. You guys know what I'm talking about. White guy. In center. The center, the Rockets. Alperen Sengun. Wasn't he drafted after Primo? We could add him. Jalen Williams instead of Sohan. But if any of those picks change, that changes the trajectory of the team. and maybe Wemby's not here. So there is that. That all being said, Wright needs to hit on his picks moving forward. We cannot have guys next, with the 2025 draft, wherever we draft, be, bustaroonies. China ball down by 3. Little jumper in the paint is missed, and no offensive rebound for us. 7-11 to go. And another, they are calling way too many whistles in this game. It took me forever to find Shingun's name. I'm sorry, I'm sitting there like it's a weird name. Why can't I bull it? We have to keep our hindsight bias in check. Exactly. He does need a jump shot. Sohan develops a jump shot. Yeah, Raymond, it's, a couple viewers were really good about, I haven't done the hindsight thing too much because you go by your need at the time. Oh! Big block by Mensah. And then City Soko goes flying out of bounds with the ball. It's going to stay China ball. Every team in the history of sports has missed on a draft pick. Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. Why didn't anybody take him in the 1st round or 2nd round? Right? Isn't that the biggest? Isn't he the biggest the best late-round pick in the history of all sports? Where I get upset, and we have another foul, is when my team reaches. And I have perfect examples for both my teams that I love on this channel. The New York Giants, I felt reached for Daniel Jones back in 2019 when we drafted him 6th overall. We already talked about him tonight. Joshua Primo, I felt, was a reach with the 12th overall pick for the Spurs a few years back. Those are the ones I hate. When you take a guy that it's everybody under the sun is saying is going to go 25th and you draft him 12th or 11th or whatever it was, I take issue with that. Because I'm like, maybe you see something in this guy, but every other analysis on the planet doesn't. So what are you seeing that, why is there a difference in opinion? You draft a guy that's appropriately ranked. Sohan, for example. If Sohan becomes a bust, I'm getting long-winded with this. Castle for 3. If Sohan becomes a bust, it will suck. I won't be happy about it. But I'm not going to be upset with the pick because Germany was projected to go around number 10, and we took him number 9. So I can't be upset about that. We took a guy that we needed a forward at the time, and we took a positional need, and we drafted him in the appropriate spot. Prime time, he didn't have something to play. Everybody missed on Jokic. Manu Ginobili, we're talking about Manu tonight. Manu was barely drafted. He's a Hall of Famer. We can always do the hindsight game, but I'm not going to be upset with my team if we took a needed position, a best player available, and the guy just didn't pan out. What are you going to do? My New York Giants, 2 years ago, drafted Evan Neal, 5th overall, I think, or 7th. We had 2 picks. We came on Thibodeau first. I think the 7th overall pick. Evan Neal was projected to be a top 3 pick in that draft. He sucks. He has sucked his first 2 years. I'm angry that he has sucked for the team, but I can't be angry with the pick because it was a great pick at that moment in time. We have another whistle. Good grief. Team's probably going to sag off Castle. That could be a problem with him in the starting lineup. We have a quick timeout. We saw it last year. The last few months Jeremy Sohan played, teams were leaving him wide open. And why wouldn't you? He shot like 18% from 3 in February and 15% in March. Whatever it was bad. I'd just be like, yeah, go ahead and shoot it, man. You got a less than 1 in 5 chance of that thing going in, and clang, clong, cling, boom, bang. No good. But Connor, good evening to you. I'm doing great. There you go. Bip just said it perfectly. My Chicago Bears took Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes. And not only did they draft Mitch Trubisky, you guys traded a lot of assets to be able to get him, did you not? I would agree Wright's been average. I would say average. Who are you starting, Kelman or Barnes? Ooh. Oh, my. Both are not great defenders. Barnes is going to give us more size. I feel like Barnes is going to start because he's been a more consistent shooter in his career, and to help floor spacing, they might start him. Or there's always a chance Pop could bring Keldon back in the starting lineup and think we need some shooting off the bench. Because you look at our bench guys right now, Zach Collins, Blake Wesley, Malachi Branham, probably Stephon Castle. That's not exactly a murder's row of shooters. So there's also the flip side of we need some shooting off the bench, and Barnes might coming off the bench. So actually, I just talked myself into starting Keldon. Bacano, China's. I mean, they're hanging and banging with us, so they're not terrible. We have Champagny off the bench too. I forgot about Julian Champagny. Francisco, that's fair. That's fair. This is a terrible camera angle. China ball, and pull up J is an air ball, and I think we have another foul. Gooseby, good evening. I'm easy. I'm not a huge Sohan guy either, but I'm rooting for him. He's a Spur. Jeez, another whistle already? Slow-mo's in the house? Oh, yeah, he is. I don't know what's with all these fouls. What's up, Walker? Thank you for stopping in. This has been a foul fest. Yes, he is, Andy. He actually is. He talks some trash. I don't think we have any guys on our team that do that. And we're going to have City Sissoko at the line for 2. Who on Summer League could be a two-way player? Two-way contract, Harrison Ingram, Jamari Bouye. Our Summer League team has been, until tonight, had been awful. Oh, I put point up when I shouldn't have. 52-46. It is China ball. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Who besides Wemby? No, nobody this coming season. Definitely nobody. 2 on the shot clock. Quick pull-up 3. That's a brick. We are going to have a 24-second shot clock violation. Spurs ball, up by 6. I want to give a shout-out to my nephew, Ronnie. He worked for the Spurs. No kidding. Son could be a great point-of-attack defender, great rebounder, glue guy, and a capable playmaker at the 4. It can be, yes. Another foul. Good. Jeez. Jacob, I have no idea how many points Castle has. It's double digits, I think. It's got to be. He's still in the game. He has the ball right now. He's missed all his 3 tonight. I think he's 0 for 4. Milner for 3, no good. He's got 13, thank you. China down by 6. Oh boy. My apologies. A little stiff here on the couch. Pull up J, no good. Another offensive rebound for China. They've gotten way too many offensive rebounds tonight. Way too many offensive rebounds. Spurs making it just easy. And Sonny with the drive and layup, good. I think I heard Sonny as a name. 2 top 10 picks again next year. That would be is Castle over 5 from 3? Oh, jeez. That little jumper is good by Masalski, excuse me. Gosh, he's over 5 from beyond the arc. All right, another foul. Come on. I did not know that hard left turn. Will the Spurs starting to have no center? No, they don't. Nathan Mensah is 6'9". They are undersized. We have no legit bigs on this Summer League team. 6'9" is the tallest guy. I think the Spurs will win at least 30. At least 30. My projected is 35 to 40, but I can't see him being less than 30. Slow-mo eating the popcorn and fast forward. Spurs ball, Castle at the free throw line. Dishes it out. A drive and a ugly shot, but a make by Tyson Ward. Spurs back up by 8. Okay, so our team will be clanking from 3 this year. Yeah, probably, just like last year. Let's be honest. The ball's going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay with China. At least 30 as Sonny Chiba with Joshua. Sonny Chiba. We're going, you're going old school there. I'm assuming you've seen the Street Fighter movies. Not Jean-Claude Van Damme's Street Fighter. Missed by China. Spurs ball. He got a break. Poorly run break. Milner for 3. Would I trade for Bronny? No. Slow-mo's Chinese on his mother's side. I actually didn't know that. Castle's not a bust. Stop it. The Rock or Stone Cold? The Rock. How's the Rock guy? So I'll tell you guys, as we're going to commercial break, I'll tell you guys a quick story on The Rock. I watched wrestling religiously pretty much from 84 to 91. And kind of checked out for a few years. I came back in late 96. And I missed the Rocky Maivia character. When The Rock came into WWF, he wasn't The Rock, he was Rocky Maivia. I missed that whole shtick. I didn't know Rocky sucks. I didn't know Die Rocky Die. I didn't know fans hated him. I missed that. I came in the fall, either the week of or the week after he became The Rock. So I'm throwing the TV on, starting to get back into wrestling, and I hear people saying Rocky sucks and booing him. I'm like, I like this guy. He's talking to the third person. He seems like he's an egotistical prick. I like this guy as a heel. I don't understand why everybody hates him. I like The Rock. So that's one of the few wrestlers I can say I was ahead of the curve on. Like with Stone Cold, I was jumping on the bandwagon for that. That wagon was already taking off. Hogan was already big when I discovered him sometime in late 84. But The Rock, that's the one wrestler I can say, like, I liked him when it seemed like everybody hated him. I didn't know why. I wasn't online in 1996. I just saw a dude that had charisma, was talking funny and in the third person. I was like, I like this guy. And then when he's part of the Nation Domination, he gave a poster of himself to Farouk. I was like, this guy's great. That's right, you Rudy Poo. Ah, Joshua, I didn't realize that. Okay. I'm hearing good things about Cooper flying. Yes, jabronis. Never used the word jabroni before in my life. And then The Rock started using it. And I was like, he is Captain Catchphrase. Does any wrestler has as many catchphrases as The Rock did? My goodness. Back from the commercial break. The 2K Summer League starts July 12th. And Castle with the jumper. Is that an and one? Was that Castle? Yeah, it was Castle. Rasheed Wallace Storytime. I think I watched one of those. It was pretty good. I have a feeling we're going to see so many dunks by Wemby with Chris Paul chucking him the ball. It's going to be Lob City 2.0. And also we have other guys that can finish at the rim. Sohan can't finish with layups and jumpers at the rim, but he can dunk. I think Vassell's going to get on that action. It's going to be a lot of fun. Castle missed a free throw. Hello, Cobra Prime. If you smell what the Mikey is cooking. Oh my gosh, another whistle. Another offensive foul. Oh, The Rock and Stone Cold back in the day, the Attitude Era. I feel very lucky as a wrestling fan. I got to see, in my opinion, the two greatest eras of wrestling all time. The 80s, Hulkamania, Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, Roddy Piper, that whole era, with the start of WrestleMania. Castle with a nice dish outside, pull up 3. No good by Nelson. And the ball's going to go out of bounds, stay with the Spurs. I got to see that era as a kid. So it was aimed at kids and I was a kid. And then I got into the Attitude Era, right at the start of the Attitude Era when I was late 96. I would have been 19. And that's when it started, 19 or 20. That's when it started going into, the toilet humor and boobs and swearing and crotch chops with DX. And I got to see the Attitude Era and the WCW versus WWF era where the WWF almost went out of business. You had the Bret the Hitman Hart screw job and The Rock and Stone Cold and DX and just late 90s. I don't think wrestling will ever get to that peak again. And you had ECW. WWF, WCW, ECW. It was such an amazing time to be a wrestling fan. Castle for 3. Dang it, Stefan. Gets his own miss. Still Spurs ball, 10 on the shot clock. Steph is now 0 for 6 from beyond the arc. That 3-pointer is no good by Nelson. And China finally gets a rebound. Castle with some D, picks the ball from behind and then gets fouled. China team can't stop fouling our guys. NWO. Not this season, Braden. I think Chris Paul's going to average 8+ assists. Might be averaging 32. So sorry for the wrestling tangent. It's clearly something I used to love. I don't love it anymore. I haven't seriously watched since 2005. I casually watched at the end of 2016 to the start of 18 when Goldberg was back, but I was not invested. I didn't know half the people were. Nice drive by Ingram in contact, and he gets the jumper in the paint. Jump layup. Thrown up by Earl Hebner. Nice. A lot of people were, Joshua. I was always loyal to the WWF. And there were some rough times. Spurs up by 12, their biggest lead of the game. The Bouye with the ball. Bouye with the screen. Out to Ingram. Ingram going to start to drive, gets into the paint, spins around, pull up Jay. Short, but a nice move. Couldn't finish, but a nice move to get in the paint. I'm okay with Castle about 10 3-points or more at each Summer League game. That's true, Spleen. Work. Hey, this is the time to work on it, right? It is China ball. Under a minute to go. 60-48. We have a pull-up 3. No good. My apologies. I don't know the Chinese players at all. I just don't. I know every guy on the Spurs roster. And I know the Bouye because he's got the ball. Bouye. Bouye is going to start to drive, gets into the paint, throws it up off the glass. And nice job by Jamari Bouye. Biggest lead of the game for the Spurs, up by 14. You smelling cooking? All right. There is 8-second differential between the shot clock and game clock right now. We have an open 3 for the big man for China, and he swishes it. Let's sign him. Big man that can shoot 3s off the bench. Bouye is going to fly up the court. Bouye, what a dunk! What? Bouye!
Thunder, 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 dunk of justice.
I didn't know Bouye could had ups. I love the UFC. I was a casual UFC fan from 1993 when I first saw it on VHS ages ago, showing my age. A casual fan till 2010 and became a diehard fan in 2010. That layup, all right. That's the end of the third quarter. Sorry, I did not expect Bouye to fly in the paint and throw down a dunk. Can we see that again? No, they're not going to show that again? How are you not going to show the Bouye dunk? See, how are you not going to show the Bouye dunk going to commercial? There it is. They went to... Oh, there it isn't. But as far as the UFC diehard fan since 2010, So I've been a fan for, a serious fan for 14 years. I've been in and out of it. I'd also watched like King of the Cage and other crap. So I was always like MMA, but just didn't order the pay-per-views. And a friend of mine invited me over to see Brock Lesnar versus Shane Carwin, UFC 116, I think, July 2010, and was hooked. And ever since then, been going to Hooters on a regular basis to watch pay-per-views with friends. First Buffalo Wild Wings, then Hooters. I have been to 4 UFC events in the last year, with the biggest one being the one in Vegas with John Jones' return against, weird name guy. Can't remember his name. He got submitted in a couple minutes. Cyril Game. Slap fight, no. I've seen a couple highlights, and it's one of those things. I always see the slap fight, and I know it's free on Rumble. I'm like, maybe I'll watch it, and then I never watch it. LOL, I'm not. If Vic Spurs can't even beat China by that margin, then we shouldn't be going for it. We should just tank another year. Time of game. I mean, Wemby's not playing. None of our regular guys are playing. Rocco, I checked out for John Cena. I did not see John Cena versus Nexus. Yeah, this is a Spurs-less Spurs. Yes, this is Summer League. There's no Wemby. There's no Sohan. There's no Vassell. There's no Keldon. No Chris Paul. No Harrison Barnes. This is all guys that will not be on, for the most part, not be on the roster next year. A few will be. Castle will be on the roster, main roster. A couple of these guys will be in the Austin Spurs, and then most of these guys will be playing overseas. Spurs ball to start out the fourth quarter, up by 13. Mensah pull-up jumper, very, very short. Harrison Ingram with the rebound, gets it out to the Bouye. Bouye to Mensah. Mensah in the paint, turnaround jumper is good. Biggest lead in the game for the Spurs, 15. Serious fan since 04. Yeah, this is fifth string Spurs sounds about right. I don't want to think about Tim Duncan and the Magic. It didn't happen, but him and McGrady, yeah, they probably could have. China ball, 3 on the shot clock. We're gonna have to get it off. That's a shot clock violation. I don't think he got that up, did he? Or they counted the bucket. I thought that was a shot clock violation. All right. You want to hoop me out of my socks? I mean, I'm like old, so it doesn't take much. Mensah gets blocked in the paint. Out to the Bouye. Bouye to Nelson. Nelson throws up a total brick in the paint. Mensah with the putback. And one! The Spurs are up by 15. With a chance to make it 16. Raekwon Gray is not with the Spurs anymore, Rose City. Raekwon Gray went to the Chicago Bulls as part of the Harrison Barnes DeMar DeRozan trade. That was announced today. No more Raekwon Gray. So he might get better. He ain't going to be with us. Castle is going to be good. And Gabriel, right back at you. Lacano Wemby is going to be ridiculous. So, Ramino, I'm not going to start a wrestling channel. I've tried to briefly do a second channel at various parts of the last 5 years of TSR Sports. I tried a comic book channel for a month, a gaming channel for about 6 weeks. I just don't have time for 2 channels. It's impossible. I have a full-time job, a million hobbies, and I've been in a relationship now for the last year. I can't squeeze a second channel. What I can do is Miss TSR Sports has pretty much seen nothing, maybe nothing, for wrestling. So I thought I could add wrestling to the channel by reacting to stuff with her. I will have seen probably most of it, but maybe a reaction to the Hell in the Cell. You know what I'm saying, guys? Almost a Spurs turnover. They get the ball back. Bouye going to kick it out, and the three-point attempt is no good by Adalovich. We get the rebound and the putback, and that's an and one for Harrison Ingram. Ingram crashing the boards. Yeah, Rose City out. Raekwon Gray is out. Also, we haven't seen David Duke Jr. in the Summer League. The Spurs relinquished the rights to him, so I don't know what's going on with him. Yes, Helen Vassell. Nice, Morrow. Cobra Prime, I could dunk. I don't know if I still can. I am going to be 47 this summer, so it's asking a lot. I have an okay jump shot, but it has to be uncontested. Missed the free throw. I can't shoot. I have a, we'll call it the TSR runner. I have a shot that I love to take where I just run, and it goes in a lot for whatever reason. It's my best shot, an off-balance runner. Marking it over Kessler. Favorite wrestler of all time? Probably Hulk Hogan. Two I grew up with. I know there's a lot of bad juju around some things that have happened with him over the last 10, 15 years. But that's who I grew up with as a kid. I mean, I was 7 years old when I became a Hulkamaniac. I would not be watching wrestling if it wasn't for him. I also saw No Holds Barred in the theater and Suburban Commando. For better or for worse. Top three is probably Hogan, Rock, and HBK, maybe? ECW crossed my mind. Castle might come in for the last 4 minutes. Cobra, I tried a gaming channel. I don't have time. Who just hit that three for the Spurs? That was Abdalovic. The Spurs are up. Biggest lead in the game, 18. Castle's 0 for everything from three-point land tonight, Rich. He is 0 for 6, I think. Oh, Duke Jr. inactive on Summer League team will be in Vegas. Okay. Oh, HBK is one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time. And it was great on the mic. I mean, actually one of my favorite Shawn Michaels moments is, you're going to see where I'm going with this when I set it up. I was not a fan of the Rockers. So when he said goodbye to Marty Jannetty, and if you know, you know, I was a fan of that moment. You need a lob sing just like you have Thunder Under's Rich made a lightning lob of injustice? Yeah, 0 for 6. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Ho! My top three are Scott Hall, Dusty Rhodes, and Jake the Snake Roberts. That's right, Ronald. Hey, if you ain't down with TSR, we got 2 words for you.
Sucker!
We are, by the way, 9 thumbs up short of 100. I don't think we've had a Spurs stream get less than 100 thumbs up in years. So if you're watching and you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, what are you waiting for? It's fast, free, nutritious, and delicious. And that is the only sponsorship I'll ask from you, is a thumbs up. And it looks a little like this.
Go, Spurs, go! Go, Spurs, go!
The Hart Foundation? I like the Hart Foundation. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that again. Yeah, Brett the Hitman Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Thank you, Sweet, for dropping the rummy. Rumble, thank you for dropping the thumbs up as well. Yes, the barbershop. We're at over 100. Thank you, guys. Have you seen the video when HBK saved Coyote from the Bobcat mascot? No, I didn't. Like this Coyote? I don't remember that. Jose Lothario. Wow. Thank you. .com210. Oh, we have a body hitting the floor. China team is fouling hard. This is supposed to be an exhibition. An exhibition. What movie?
Oh, yeah, Joshua Burns, Randy Macho Man Savage. Rise to the top, cream of the crop.
My Macho Man sucks, I'm sorry.
Miss Elizabeth, lead the way. Dig it.
We have a layup by Luka Samanic's brother, no good. Yes, Stefan Castle is back in. 73-55, and nice to see the Spurs up for once. We got absolutely blown out the first 2 Summer League games. China ball, 4 on the shot clock, pull up from the free throw lines, and air ball! There's a shot clock violation. Wasn't Gladiators, but was it? Yes, Rocky 4, Crypto Keeper. And Rose City King obviously got it.
If he dies, he dies. I must break you.
I love Rocky 4. Oh my gosh. I can change. You can change. Everybody can change. Okay, Rocky, you just ended the Cold War because you had a boxing match. So cheesy. It's such 80s cheese, and I love every minute of it. There's like, what, 5 training montages in that movie? China Ball. 6 minutes to go. I'm sorry. It's Summer League. I'm half checked in. I'm enjoying chatting with you guys. That pull-up jumper's no good. And it's going to be Spurs ball under 6 minutes to go. And the Spurs are going to get their first win of the Summer League. The only teams that haven't won besides them were China, who's going to lose tonight, barring a miracle comeback. Castle from the elbow. Swish! 20-point lead. And the Lakers are winless. Bro's about to have a 58 rating on NBA on 2K. Yo, you want to ring the bell? No, Rocky said, yo, you want to ring the bell? Ding, ding. Get to the chopper. We're going to Arnold, Get to the Chopper. That movie is 90% montage, and it's great. Dude, Castle's going to... I like his game. I know he's not going against NBA talent, but moves are moves and shots are shots. Now, his three-point shots just not dropping tonight. His form looked good on most of them. I didn't like the one near the end of the half. I thought that was rushed. We're going to have a foul in Sissoko. This is going to be, I think, three free throws coming up for China. A video about this game? No, Cowboy X Factor. I'm not going to do videos, recaps of the Summer League. Actually, I don't have time to do recaps at all. A few years ago, I would do a recap of every game, and that got to be too much. And then we did weekly recaps, and that got to be too much because the amount of stat pulling I had to do and stats to put together would take hours to compile that, and I don't have the time. I don't. Somebody mentioned a gaming channel. I wish I could do something like that. I don't have the time. This channel already takes up enough time of my life, and I'm very lucky. I'm dating somebody that's okay with that, and not only okay with that, but willing to be part of it at times, as she's joined me live for the NBA draft and the first Summer League game. That's a rarity. First free throw is good. Dolph Lundgren does have it. Dolph is a smart guy. People think he's not intelligent because they see a big, blonde, big dude. R.I.P. Carl Weathers, yeah. Yeah, he died this year, right? Cobra.
You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
Castle pull up in the paint, just a little short. He is being aggressive tonight with a shot. Where do you think the downfall of Terminator happened? Part 3. Miss TSR does not know how to edit Talks Brazilian Ghost Sheet. No. And yes, I did know that, Joshua. I did. So, Terminator movies. 1 and 2 are generally considered classics. Excellent pieces of cinema. Very different. Terminator 1, a very low-budget movie. Terminator 2, just a huge budget movie with some very early CGI work. Terminator 3 was, as a popcorn movie, fine, but not a good movie. It's not a good movie at all. Ingram for 3. Hey! Harrison Ingram's looking good tonight. And timeout China. No, Miss TSR hasn't played video games since, like, Nintendo Cowboy X Factor. Terminator 4, or Terminator Salvation as it's known, is a decent action movie. I don't think it works as a Terminator movie. Terminator Genesis, I will openly say, I love the first 40 minutes of it when they're in 1984. As soon as they jump to the future, that movie turns into hot garbage, just my opinion. I like the throwbacks, the nostalgia, the little nods with, the sneaker being done. There's a lot of little nods to Terminator 1. And the two Arnolds fighting each other. I like the first 40 minutes. But as soon as they go to the future and what they do with John Connor, I hate the rest of the movie. And I did not like Terminator Dark Fate. I didn't like it within the first minute. If you know, you know. Fast and the Furious 27 is fire. Seagal or Van Damme? Van Damme. Seagal is like a walking meme on YouTube now. There's so many channels that react to Steven Seagal movies or talk about him. He's made a lot of money for people with how much he's hated. I mean, Seagal, my two favorite Seagal movies, since we're we're in a commercial break, are, I'm just going to throw it out there. Obviously, my favorite Seagal movies that's not Under Siege Part 1, because I think it's pretty universal. Under Siege is his best movie. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones and Gary Busey absolutely chew up the scenery every time they're on screen. I'm a movie guy, by the way, if you can't tell. That's clearly Seagal's best movie. I really like Exit Wounds with DMX. It's a guilty pleasure. And rounding out my top three, probably Out for Justice with William Forsythe. It's violent, and it's just Seagal beating everybody up. I also like Marked for Death, probably like one or two others, but the majority of his catalog, especially chubby Steven Seagal after 2004 or 5 when he really started to put on weight, those movies are just all bad. To the point he's not doing any of his own move. Wow, that's a long three. Not doing any of his own stunts or martial arts scenes. He's barely moving in some movies. It's bad. It's real bad. Van Damme, I love a lot of Van Damme movies. Bloodsport, Double Impact, Universal Soldier. JVCD was done really well. Turnover by China, Spurs ball. Ingram with the ball again. Out to Castle. Castle's going to take off. Gets into the paint. Little over-under. Passes it out. And this pull-up J is good by Masalski. We do have two Harrisons, Ingram and Barnes. We want Miss TSR. She's not here. Let's focus on basketball. Please, nothing political in regards to China. I understand not everybody agrees with things there, but this is not that type of channel. We're not here to say what's right or wrong. We're just here for Spurs basketball, China basketball. Please, that's it. Let's stay respectful. Castle's playing and playing well. Oh, did I miss a point by China? I did. Thank you, Maxwell. Kickboxer. Time Cop. Expendables 2. I actually do like Expendables 2. Castle's at the line for 2. First one's an In-N-Out Burger. I hope Spurs win a game with Miss TSR showing her face. And I don't know how many more... Lionheart, I saw it in the theater too, Joshua. I don't know how many more Summerlin games Miss TSR is going to be here for. She's running a Spartan this weekend in Pennsylvania. I think she's doing a Beast this weekend. Yeah, I'm dating Xena the Warrior Princess. Castle with 17 points on 8 of 21 shooting and 5 assists. Makes a second free throw. She'll probably be here for one more Summerlin game, maybe. I don't know. And a quick foul by Horns checked in for the Spurs. Before he was on the roster. Nate Dogg, thank you for stopping in. I have not seen Survive in the game. I like Soldier with Kurt Russell, but Universal Soldier. I mean, you got Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. Win! Yes, they are Cowboy X Factor, and Ricardo Schwarzenegger is doing pretty well. Biscuit Bunny, he probably will be, but I don't think he's had the big box office movies that Stallone and Schwarzenegger did. I know Statham had, I didn't even see who shot that 3 for the Spurs. Castle's not in, by the way. There's a few people I don't recognize on the floor. That don't get, wow, there's a dude I actually don't recognize at all. Who's out there for the Spurs? Bradford. Bradford's out there. I don't recognize him one bit. Where was he at? Statham, like, as a star on his own, I don't think he's had the really, really huge movies. I could be wrong. But I don't think he's had a lot of big blockbusters where he's the only star. Like Stallone had, of course, the Rocky movies, the Rambo movies. Arnold had the Terminator movies and so many others. They had a couple free throws for China, 84-61, 23-point game. I love Demolition Man. Showdown in Little Tokyo. One of the weirdest lines in the history of cinema when Brandon Lee tells Dolph Lundgren's character, "You have the biggest I've ever seen on a man." Yeah, I've seen Showdown in Little Tokyo. Terrible movie. I love it. And Tia Carrere was in that. And the guy that played Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. Carrie something. Actually a pretty good cast. Spurs ball. Also, Showdown Little Tokyo is like under 80 minutes. Quick pull-up three is a clanger. No good. Fight for the rebound, and the Spurs will get the offensive board. Drive and a layup by Radford. 24-point game. I love I Come in Peace. It is known as Dark Angel, but I know it as I Come in Peace.
I come in peace.
And you'll go in pieces, a-hole. Three-pointer for China. I'm sorry, it's late. It's a blowout. I'm having some fun talking to chat about movies. I don't get to talk movies much with you guys, and it's coming up today. So here we go. Darren Green for three, no good. Spurs are going to get their first win of Summer League. That shot's no good. Spurs ball. Don't sub to me. I'm feeling good about Castle. His three-point shot was way off tonight. Way off. Well, not way off. They weren't going in. I don't think he threw up an air ball. But I also don't think his stat line's good with the three-pointers. Like 0 for 6, but he looked good in the paint. Finished strong on one play. Was passing well. He's going to be all right. He's gonna have a rookie year. You're going to have plays where you're like, man, Stephon Castle, I can't believe we are able to get him with the 4th pick overall. And you're going to have times where you're going to look at Stephon Castle and say, I can't believe we drafted this guy 4th overall. That's the nature of any rookie. Ooh, that was a long sniper three. Who dat? Darren Green for three. I have seen Ip Man 1, 2, 3. I think there's a 4th one. I have not seen it yet. Butterfly, good evening. And the Spurs are winning. Oh, we're deep bench right now. Deep, 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 deep. China ball, and that's a layup. I am so hungry right now. I keep track of my calories because Miss TSR does that. And I've been under what my normal maintenance should be since July 1st. So I think my body's saying, feed me. Feed me TSR. I'll feed me all night long. Because if you feed me TSR, I can grow up big and strong. All right, both teams are going to run out the clock. The Spurs are going to win. All right. I'll take it. Spurs improved to 1-2. China's going to drop to 0-3. Nunez is overseas. I don't think this is the Chinese Olympic team. I don't think so. They'd be much better than this, wouldn't they? I loved Did I love Ninja Turtles? Are you kidding me? Watch the Raid. I feel like I've seen that. This is the Chinese night. Wait, is this their Olympic team? If this is their Olympic team, they're in a lot of trouble. I mean, their Olympic team can't. No way. This can't be an Olympic team, and they can't be Summer League guys. By the way, anybody heading out, please hit the thumbs up. We're almost up to 150. I don't think we're going to get there, but if we can, that'd be great. But let's take a look at the end of game stats, and let's take a look at the end of game stats. Yeah, that's it. All right, going over to ESPN, NBA Summer League, Spurs in China, box score. All right, for China, we had Ru Wang with 6, Hansen with 6, Zhu with 5. Zhu with just one name. Xiaoping with 7. Sanning with 17. All right, you had a solid game. Baozhou with 11. Ming Hen with 2. Hong Kwang with 0. Cheyenne with 2. And Jining with 11. For our San Antonio Spurs, everybody played tonight that was available. Mensah with 9. Ingram had his clearly best game of Summer League. 16 points on 6 of 10 shooting. 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals against only 1 turnover. Much better by Harrison Ingram. City Sissoko, Still invisible out there, at least offensively. 22 minutes, 4 points on 1 of 5 shooting. He did grab 7 boards. Stefan Castle, 8 of 21 from the field. Yeah, under 50%. 0 for 6 from beyond the arc, which means he was 8 of 15 from 2-point land. So he was doing well within the arc, but not so good outside of it. Played 26 minutes, 6 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals, and only 1 turnover. Had a team high 18 points and plus 15. Okay. Jamari Bouye shocked us with a drive in the paint and a dunk tonight. 5 of 7 from the field, 5 assists, 1 turnover, 14 points. Off the bench, Green Jr. with 3, Milner Jr. with 3, Nelson Jr. with 3. Nelson 1 of 5 from the field. He sucks. Masalowski with 6, Horn with 3, Radford with 2, Adalovich with 3, and Ward with 5. Spurs shot 43% from the field. That's almost double what they did in their last game. Awful from the free throw line tonight, though. Holy crap, we shot 45% from the free throw line. 9 of 20? Seriously, 9 of 20? That's not good. Spurs only 7 turnovers as a team. China had 17. Spurs win 89-67. I'll take it. Good win. We'll be back live again. When's the next game? I want to say, is it Friday? The 13th. So, wait, is it it's Friday the 13th? No, it's Saturday the 13th. Never mind. We'll be back live Saturday. So 3 days off for your boy and company. 3 days off, and it's a Spurs versus the Blazers on Saturday. We have another game on Sunday, the Spurs versus the Hawks. While Miss TSR won't be here, TS Bear will be here at least for the Saturday game. And then 2 games next week, the 16th and the 19th, the 20th and through the 22nd are to be determined if we make that playoff. These Summer League games don't count as the little playoff tournament that's happening. So I'll take a win. We saw some good things out of Castle tonight, and it's going to be a fun Spurs season. It's going to be a really, really fun Spurs season. Bouye, I like Bouye. He might stand a 2-way. This was a lot of fun. So I'll see you guys Saturday night. We'll probably do some videos throughout the week. Tomorrow, oh gosh, I got Hard Knocks to watch. Hard Knocks. So I want to see a new episode of Hard Knocks. So I want to get going. Hit the thumbs up on the right if you can. Appreciate you. Till next time, what you gonna do when TSR Sports runs wild on you? Oh, I forgot to say on behalf of. Let me back it up. On behalf of myself, Selena, Mikey, Headband Grogu, and Baby Coyote, what you gonna do when TSR Sports runs wild on you? Go Spurs, go!